what's your thoughts on the game today and the loss?
I love the way we come out, and it was a great first quarter. Probably could have been a couple more up, even we fouled a little bit late. But I thought obviously we wanted to. Corey was pretty good the other night. We did everything we could to restrict him, and that left a couple of other people with some opportunities. And I thought Wesley really took advantage of that. In the second quarter. And we weren't able to, contain him during that quarter, which got them the lead. But, generally, there were some really good things for us tonight. And then there were some things that right now are starting to be a trend. To give up 22 offensive rebounds again, a lot of tips and a lot of, chances for us to go get those, and we're just not doing it right now. So, we've got to firstly address that issue, because it's hard to win a basketball game when the other team's shooting 20 more shots than you. So, address that one. Obviously, we talked about it from the other night as well. So, it's a glaring issue for us right now, and down an import, and Casper and Josh certainly didn't have their best game tonight, and certainly you got to say they were probably the most affected from the 4 overtime game.
With the rebounding, you said it's a bit of a trend. Are you concerned just the guys aren't putting the effort there, or not technically just securing the ball and keeping the other bloke away?
Yeah, I haven't. I obviously watched a bit of film from the other night. Some of it's in the way that we help, and we need other people to really jam down and help with some of those rebounding situations. But there's a physicality there that we addressed last year, and we're going to have to address it again. And it's at an unacceptable level, and we'll have to make a change.
With the rotations, last year was a big thing finding the groups that worked. Is it still a bit of a working process for yourself to figure out which guys to go to at what times?
Yeah, I think so. Obviously. The other night, DJ's first game, so we were starting to, the whole group's first game together, so we was trying to, work things out a little bit, and, tonight we miss him again, so that whole thing changed again, and, Mitch comes in and starts and does a great job for us, on both ends of the floor. So, yeah, we've still got to work it out. We lived a little bit on the perimeter tonight. We probably, we've got to find ways to continue to have a post presence as well, and something that we can add to our offense.
Are you concerned about DJ, because he's missed a bit of pre-season, now he's missed a game today, with just seems like injuries just creep up on him? Yeah,
you can't. He hurts an ankle on a play, and steps on a foot on a rebound. So I don't think his career has been plagued by injuries or anything like that. So, right now we're putting it down to 2 unfortunate incidents, and he was 80% tonight, but, it's hard to play in this league at 80%. And I know from what he did the other night that he's a tough kid, that he rolled it and he jumped back out there and tried to play again. So if he could have gone tonight and helped us, he would have done that. We're got a week to freshen everybody up and get right for the next game.
How hard was it getting up for this game, Mitch, after just the 4 overtimes today?
I don't think it was difficult. It's our first home game, the banner reveal. I think everyone was excited, and we knew we would have to make a pretty concerted effort, knowing how long the game was the other night, and you've got to produce your own energy. We talked about that last game, that whether you're on the road or at home, if your group's producing the energy, then you're going to be off to a good start. So we had a good one, we just weren't able to continue it.
Opposition teams are getting little runs in games. We saw it in the second quarter tonight. Do you sort of feel that on the floor, and have you sort of worked out how to maybe stop that?
I think, as Dean spoke about, the rebounding hurts. You get a couple really good stops, you start to get to some momentum, and then they get an easy putback and it kills it. We give up a lot of offensive rebounds, and you just have to guard, and that takes energy away as well. So, if we can take care of that, I think we'll be in a lot better shape.
How big is it to have a week at home now, no travel, a home game next weekend, and just the one game after all you guys have been through, flying to the States and up to Illawarra over as well.
Yeah, it's massive, and I'm going to have to be really smart with how we manage the week with making sure we still get enough load, but make sure that we really let their bodies recover. And so, as I speak to the sports scientists to give me a load schedule and where we really take full days off, because it's been probably a month since we actually had a full day off and let people live a normal life and just let their bodies get back to normal. But hey, credit to the Breakers tonight. They if you come off a game like we did, they did everything to make it hard for us tonight. And the way Shea Ely got up the floor and just made every inbounds pass difficult, and every advancement of the ball up the floor, they did some things that were pretty good. And they talk about their depth, and they used it tonight. They rotated people, and Wes is the only one that played heavy minutes for them, and that was a good defensive effort from them tonight. And Abercrombie and Rashad and Wesley were key factors. We took care of everyone else pretty well, but those guys contributed solidly to the win incredibly.
Yeah. Mitch, Dean spoke about how you could step up tonight in DJ's absence and made a big impact. How comfortable are you feeling with this group now?
Yeah, the guys have been great. I spoke about when I first got to Melbourne, how good the club was, and just welcoming me in and showing me around and trying to make that chemistry come along quicker. I think it takes time, but we had a pretty big preseason. As we spoke about, we were on the road a lot. We went to America, which was seemed like the longest trip at times, but we've had a lot of fun, and I feel like one of the guys now.
And seeing the banner raise, obviously you weren't part of the group. Some of the guys were, some weren't. But what does that do in terms of just putting things into perspective for the season ahead?
Yeah, I think it's just an expectation. That's our goal. We want to go back to back, and while it was awesome to be a part of that, I want one for myself.
Dean, Ty was a big sort of physical factor for you last year, really successful in that role. Have you got? Is there someone in this group that can sort of fill that hole in that physicality?
Yeah, it's got to be a combination of people. Barlow's doing a good job. He's playing really good basketball. We like some of the things that Torhi's given us in some short minutes as well. But really we put 50% of that load on DJ to come in and give us that physicality. And I thought he showed that a little bit the other night. So Ty's going to be absolutely difficult to cover. It's a big loss, and he's a really quality player, but so it's going to be by committee that we have to do that.
A few times it's been noted about the emotions of the banner coming down, that type of thing. I guess in preparation for that, did you have any advice to the players or anything like that?
No, part of our club is to celebrate success, and we wanted to take a moment to celebrate that. You work hard, you achieve your goals. It's some people's lifetime goals was to win that championship, and so you got to take a moment to celebrate it. And but we certainly spoke about the sacrifices, the work it took to get that done, and trying to spread that message around the group that it's never an easy thing to get done. And 38 years. In Melbourne basketball, it's never been done before. No one's ever gone back to back. So, since the St Kilda Saints days. So there's it's a extremely hard thing to do, but that's the challenge in front of us. And a lot of people putting their hand up saying, we want to have a go at that.
And Josh Boone, it sort of looked like he wasn't able to play as many minutes as possible, or was that was there anything hindering him from getting on court?
I don't know if he's ever played 42 minutes or whatever he played the other night. He's a 22 to 25 kind of minute guy. I think we stretched him to 28 in a game last year, but he played 2 games and that it showed up tonight. And Alex wasn't good in his first stint tonight either, but I thought we challenged him at half time, and I think he really responded in the second half and had a great contributed. I think it was plus 10 in the second half or something. He was good. So it's one of the reasons that we recruited him. That we know we got these back-to-back games, and it's something we just got to be great at. Half of our home games are coming from playing somewhere else, so we just got to find a rhythm to be able to to get off a plane and have limited preparation and come in this gym and play well.
With DJ, hopefully he's back on Sunday, or is it a bit of watch and wait?
No, I think he's a definite. I think he was close, as we said, and so it was just an ankle sprain. So there's nothing more than that, and so yeah, he'll be back.